Do you have any advice for young filmmakers that want to get into cinematography for animation?
I mean, you know, it's interesting because I came at it from a totally different. I actually started in 2D animation. So I worked down in LA, and I was a layout artist in 2D, which basically is saying, we were essentially the cinematographers of that group, but it was very different. We were drawing backgrounds and basically. It was just you weren't really working with editorial the way we do here. So, when I started in the business, I kind of came at it not necessarily that, I want to be a cinematographer in animation. It was just basically I was, drawing and really liked drawing actually environments and backgrounds and kind of came into it from that angle. That said, the people that we've been hiring in recent years, they come from all different backgrounds. So we have hired some people from live action cinematography actually, who found that they had an interest in animation and they brought a very unique perspective to it. We also have several people in our group who used to work in stop motion. And so they, were actually operating physical cameras inside, tiny stop motion sets. So layouts, it's typically a hard group to hire for because it seems to be the biggest number of applicants you get at Pixar are people who want to go into the art department or into story, which is storyboarding, and then animation. And layout, there's not a lot of people that are, specifically going to CalArts or any specialized animation school with the goal of becoming an animation cinematographer. That's not to say that they don't want to do it. It just doesn't have the same kind of visibility out there. So, I don't even know, honestly, if there are dedicated programs in schools that teach you specifically for animation. That said, I know there's a huge group of people that do previs now for live action films, and there's lots of studios, down in LA as well as London that do this stuff. And we've hired some of those people as well. And that's essentially what they're doing, is almost doing animatics and proof of concept story reels for directors that are going to be on a set. And they want to see, okay, what do I need to do this very complex effects heavy sequence? And so previs has become such a valuable tool in that regard.
So skills to hone as a cinematographer, previs, maybe some stop motion, maybe some animation.
Stop motion, I'd say that's a very specific skill, but I'd say the biggest thing you can do, and what my first bosses always said was just, first of all, you have to have a love of film. All of us just watch and devour as many movies as we can all the time. So, really when I think about what we do in layout as a cinematographer is we're mostly working with the editorial department. We're sitting there shooting this stuff and basically we're, cutting these mini sequences together. And so I'd say, learning how to edit is a huge deal too. That's what's different about what our role versus live action cinematographers is that we're heavily involved with the shaping of the sequence. We're not just shooting it and then kind of sending it down the line. So I think I know a lot of us in our group and in animation in general for this type of work, they really love that aspect of it. So it's another set of skills, but I would just say, making your own films, shooting your own films, as well as just, figuring out how to make a sequential story. And we, some of the people we've hired have submitted their own short films, stuff like that. Because that's really what it is you're basically telling a story through a sequence of shots. And I think those are the most valuable skills to have. That's what we're always looking for when we're reviewing portfolios and reels.